Now, tell me a little about yourself, sir. What's your name?
My name's Hot Rod John.
And what do you do? And what career-wise, what did you do? Or what do you do?
I'm in sales.
You do driving sales? Oh, what kind of sales?
I sell industrial products, industrial bandsaw blades, and I moonlight as a radio talk show host.
Really?
On Fox X Radio, the new breed of rock, 88.9.
88.9?
Yes, sir.
Fox, what was it called?
Class X Rock.
Class X Rock?
Yes,
okay,
sir.
and how much of a viewership you guys have?
Well, I'm only on one day a week doing a car show called Motor Mania Radio. Go to our Facebook page, like our Facebook page at Motor Mania Radio Show on Facebook. But we do, our claim to fame is we have Wildman Walker and Bob the producer. I don't know if you remember those guys from EBN. So we still play that old rock and roll, but we talk about cars on Saturdays. I'm on a hiatus right now because on Saturdays I need to be
at a car show.
At a car show in the summer.
You love car shows.
I love car shows.
How many car shows do you think you've been to in your lifetime?
Oh my goodness. I would even hate to gather. I'm probably one of the biggest gearheads here. I've got a few cars. I'm president of the Falcon Club in the state of Ohio. I've got 6 Falcons. I have my Studebaker, which I brought with me today. I also have a Rambler, 69 AMX 394-speed car. I've got a 56 Chevy. You never know what you're going to see me in.
And what cars have, during your lifetime, from when you were like a teenager on up, what kind of cars have you really admired? I mean, what kind of cars? I mean, like decades-wise, or cars, just cars in general. What kind of models do you like?
I tend to gravitate on everything that I remember as a child.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so if it was late 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Nostalgic value.
Yes. I don't buy things I don't remember.
Okay.
I buy things I remember as a child.
Okay, now let's talk about this car you have right here. It's like a nice little, it's almost kind of something, it almost looks, it's kind of cool looking. It kind of looks like something the Ninja Turtles would drive.
Well, actually this is a 1964 Studebaker Daytona Wagonaire station wagon.
Okay, say that again.
A Daytona Wagonaire. Now here's what makes it a Daytona Wagonaire.
Okay.
I have to move my cooler. The whole back end slides open, and you actually can stand a refrigerator up inside here and transport it.
Really, a refrigerator?
See how the roof is slid forward?
Yeah.
Well, not many station wagons did that in '64.
Not very many.
You know, GM did a thing they called an XUV, and the roof slid forward. That wasn't a new idea. Hello there, Debbie. So that's what makes the Daytona Wagonaire. This car was built in South Bend, Indiana, and then transported to California and used exclusively on the Mr. Ed show. This particular car between 1963 and 1964.
Now tell people what Mr. Ed pretty much was. What kind of show was it?
Yes, sir.
How you doing, bud?
What's up there, clown? Where's your car? Mr. Ed was a show about a horse that talked.
Oh, okay.
Sort of like the Francis the Talking Mule, but Mr. Ed was on national TV from like 1960 to 67.
Okay.
And Studebaker was his national sponsor.
Okay.
So they would build a couple cars, and send them to the show every year to get it on TV to promote the line. And this was the particular one of the cars between 63 and 64.
So did due to promotion sales and stuff, did they, due to promotion, due to be on the show,
this car did appear in an episode.
Well, I mean, so did he have increase in sales? I mean, do you know about sales increase?
No, I don't know. It must not have done too much because by 1966, Studebaker went bankrupt. So.
Now, what was it about this car that really appealed to you? I mean, when you saw this car, you thought you wanted to get it. What was it about it? I mean, where did you get this car from, and what was just about it that kind of glue at you?
It's a Studebaker Wagonaire, and I'm a Studebaker lover, and I bought it from another local collector here in Cincinnati named Glenn Johnson.
And how many of them are still around?
Not many. I went to the National Studebaker meet in South Bend. You'll catch 7 or 8 of them maybe out of 300 or 400 cars.
Well, you're not an endangered species?
A bit of endangered, yeah. First off, they didn't make a lot of them, and there's not many of them survived.
Yeah, but sometimes they have that though, where like cars, like different molds, like some cars will go away and then they'll come back or whatever, like the mold or whatever.
Yep.
But I was just wondering, what do you think is about? What do you think in terms of car longevity as far as popularity? Is there something that really about certain cars? You think? Do you think it depends on the miles they're traveled?
I just think things grab people just like women. Some like redheads, like brunettes.
Yeah.
Cars do the same thing.
And colors.
Stirs your soul. Exactly right.
Yeah.
It's dirty. I just got it out. We're having a big picnic today. You're missing a good time at Rockin.
Now, how long you've had it turned? How many miles has this thing's gone on it?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's got 90,000. The prior owner drove it 900 miles in 9 years. I've drove it about 4,000 miles in 2.5 years.
And miles-wise, what's the duration, lifetime of this thing? Of these
How
cars?
will it last?
Yeah.
The way I treat it, indefinitely. Seriously. I mean, it'll go and go and go. Just stay on type on the maintenance and take care of it.
Yeah.
All cars are that way. If you take care of them, they'll take care of you.
Okay, now, is your wife, like, I guess, really into cars and stuff, too? Now, how'd you two, may I ask, like, how you two met? How'd you guys kind of form your love of cars together? Did you guys have any kind of drive her into, or?
She pulled up in a Chevrolet Nova up amongst our Falcons at a Falcon meet in Cruisapalooza in Cincinnati. And I had told her to get it the hell out of the way because it was a Chevrolet. 3 weeks later, we were dating. 3 months later, we were really dating. And 3 years later, we got married.
No, I was saying, because you know something, they're always talking about sometimes first impressions are really big, but you know something, I'll tell you something, sometimes bad impressions will make it lead something real good. I mean,
actually, we started talking that night. I actually have several station wagons, and I was driving one of my other wagons.
I thought you told her to get the hell out of the way.
Get out of the line. You're not supposed to be in this area. So.
And who knew, and who'd have thought we'd our group from that, huh?
There you go.
What's the canister thing that's in that car here?
It actually hangs over your seat.
Oh, this hang over your seat? Let's take a look at these things. I mean, they're part of the car somewhat. Let's go ahead and take a look at them.
This is actually, it's hard to put together. This is called a car snack.
A car snail?
Snack.
Snack, car snack.
It hangs over your seat. You put your sandwiches, or I have Big Boy in here.
Big Boy? You know, hold on.
I have 18 of these different
I have seen those, one or two of those here tonight.
So I have a hula girl.
A hula girl? Oh, show her, hold on. Show her again. Oh, look, it's
she has red paint.
It's Pocahontas.
I don't know, she's bending over quite. She's not looking too healthy. She's bending too much. But they, you would put your sandwiches in there, and then you would have your coffee in there. These are so old. I don't know if I might have took it out. I got one with Coke Zero. These are so old. They have a rubber stopper in them.
Rubber stopper? A rubber stopper,
Cork,
really?
actually. And it's glass line, just like today's thermos.
So it's kind of like a form of preservative, basically.
And you have your cup to pour your coffee in, or your soup, or whatever.
Are they good for like natural disasters?
Are you kidding? Thermoses are still popular today. Are you kidding? They're a little not as fancy.
Are they good for natural disasters? You know, if there's like an earthquake or a tornado or whatever, you can store your food in them or something like that.
Good. Well, it's good for
flood.
Hot or cold. That's all that is.
A blizzard.
And this was actually made in Chicago, Illinois. Now, all the items on the back you see on the back tailgate were made in here in Hamilton, Ohio.
You know, tell me a little about your engine.
The motor's a bone stock Studebaker made 259 cubic H V8 motor.
V-motor, which means kind of motor it is. I mean,
it was built by this company. Now, in 1965, Studebaker quit building their own engines. They bought Chevrolet small blocks and stuck in here.
Okay.
Still called it a Studebaker. The valve cover said Studebaker, but it was a Chevrolet motor. That was when they were on the decline. In '65, they couldn't even afford to cast their own engines. And they say that GM is too big to fail. Well, they let Studebaker fail in 1966. So go figure. A lot of people lost their jobs in South Bend. Matter of fact, if you go to the factory, there are cars still hanging from the conveyor.
Wow.
Where they shut it off.
Damn, all these years later.
Yep.
This is a 1963 T-Bird. 63,000 miles. Beautiful car here. Let's go inside.
Oh, isn't that something?
Beautiful car. A 1963 T-Bird.
I was 4 years old then. 4 years old. Oh my God.
And how well has this thing been, how often is this thing driven around?
Only once a week,
Once a week,
if that.
if that.
It never sees snow or rain.
Oh, it's put in the garage. Okay, here's a 69 Mustang Mach. It's got 18,000 miles on it. Go inside here and take a look. Had the nice seating. Got like leather seats. It's really beautiful. Little Tweety bird there in the back. More cars. '69 Mustang Mach.
I might go with that.
Archer's there. Archer's
Oh, shoot, they're that wide. They're really high.
1940,
Ford.
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 Ford sedan. 1940 Ford sedan, and all nice leather seating here. This is great. Cars here. This is a 65. This is a 65 Mustang here. I want you to tell me about it here. How did you retrieve this car? This 65 Mustang.
Well, it's really quite a story. My husband and I had went to Hyde's Restaurant on Route 4 for breakfast. And as we came out of the Hyde's Restaurant, we pulled on the Hancock side, the back side. And as we were headed toward the stop sign, this was sitting on the parking lot there at Stevens Motors. And I told my husband, I said, oh, stop. I said, 65 Mustang, let me just look at it. So I got out and walked around it. I said, it doesn't have any tags. I bet it's for sale. So we went inside and talked to the car lot dealer. And he said he had just came in. He hadn't had a chance to look at it. He didn't really know anything much about it. So we said, let us take it for a test drive. So we took it for a test drive, and as we came back, we said, what do you want for it? And my husband and him kind of worked out a deal. And we went to a bank and got the money out, and we came home with a Mustang. Went out for breakfast and came home with a Mustang. And the thing that makes it special, this is my favorite color.
Oh, it's red color?
It looks green, but it's actually called honeycomb gold.
Honeycomb gold?
Yeah, but it's green, and that's my favorite color. And 65 is always been my dream car. I had a 66 when I was a teenager.
Oh, when you were a teenager?
Yeah.
And so did you was your parents really into cars, or how was it instilled in you?
My father had a 37 Chevy, and he would drive it in the antique car parades. And I used to go along with him. I liked to go and look at the cars. And he always worked on old cars, and that was something he did in his pastime. And having a car, coming to the cruise-ins, and we drove it in the old car parade a couple of years. We've drove it 3 years, and out of the 3 years, we've won 2 third place in our class. And we've enjoyed it. We have a lot of fun. Everybody has a Mustang story. Everywhere you go, everybody has a Mustang story, and we enjoy that part of it because we know that it's a really good part of history. As far as cars go, I think in my opinion, I think the 65 Mustang and 57 Chevys are the 2 top-notch cars.
Yeah.
And
my grandpa actually has a Mustang convertible at home. I think it's at his house. He has a Mustang convertible. I think it's like a late 80s, early 90s model.
They're awesome.
It's really a nice car, late 80s, early 90s model.
Yeah, I love them. I just love it. I think this is our pastime. We did our pantry thing today, and we came home and we said, this is the last car show of the year. We're going, come hell or high water.
Now I want to tell you about how you received this car, though. I want to talk about how you received the first car you were talking about. You said you had a car when you were a teenager, like a 66.
Yes.
Now, how did you retrieve this car, and did your parents give you all kind of hell for getting it, or what? How did you get it?
The 66?
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, when I went to school at Talawanda, and I lived out on 27, and my dad, when I was just 16, my mom and dad said, we're thinking about getting you a car. What kind would you like? I said, a Mustang. So we went and got the 66. It was a gold color. And we had a lot of fun with that too. It had the black interior, and it was just a little 6-cylinder like this one. But it was just so much fun. And when I got married the first time, my first husband, it had to have an exhaust system put on it. And I think what it was, I looked younger and was a lot hotter back then. I think he was just a little afraid somebody might look at me in it. So he said, let your mom have it back. So I did, and I regretted it ever since.
Okay. Your dad was like,
Yeah, my dad was all for it. And only thing is, first time I drove it, I went to visit my sister, her and her husband. We were real young. I was just 16. And I went to park in front of their house on Prytania, and I got a little close to the curb. And when I did, there was a place in the curb that had a rough spot on it, and I busted the tire. And I never did tell my dad about that. And I was afraid he'd say, oh, you're not responsible enough to drive a car. You didn't watch the curve. But the first time I drove it, I busted the tire. I just bumped up against it, and it just poked a hole in it. Scared to death.
Lord. So, anyway, what was like the first time you really, you remember the first time you really, did you really needed a car? I mean, you remember like the first time you really needed the car or whatever, like your first thing, like your first job or whatever?
Oh, yes.
Like what was like first? Sometimes like emergencies arise or something like that. Like you remember your first time where you're like, oh, thank God I had a car.
Yes, I think my first car though, I wanted to be able to drive to school. I was just sophomore, and I didn't like riding the bus. We had a long bus ride because our bus route went all the way through Oxford, the back roads in Oxford. So I could go straight to school, plus I could get there later. I didn't have to get up as early. And we just had a lot of fun.
Last cruise in of the year.
Okay, let me see your car here. This is a Mustang.
Thing over there where they give cheap shots and stuff.
Mustang.
From Rockin
Okay.
Cruise in.
I'll go in here inside and look at your car here, and then I'll go ahead. Okay, this is now what?
So we got coupons up here for better deals.
Right here over.
Delivered here to the car show for free.
Okay, what will you win this?
Okay, this one's the one we won for the.
Speak up a little bit.
This is the one we won for the Antique Car Parade this year. This was third place in the closed Mustangs from 64.5 to 66.
Okay.
My favorite one.
Is your favorite trophy?
This is my favorite.
Okay. Nice. Third place.
Third place. I love it.
Just love it. Big trophy.
love it.
What do they make these things out of?
I think they're making them out of a little bit of plastic now. Some of them are marble, but my God, when you go up there at the courthouse where they have the little gazebo, they've got trophies lined up all the way up the steps.
This trailer
And
over
you
here
pull in the
will be
park
here
and you
this
see
Wednesday
nothing
from
but the
5 to
sun hitting
7.
the trophies. It's sharp.
You get
It's
$2
really, really
discount.
sharp.
There's
We've had a lot of
flyers
fun.
up here in this rack.
Lot of
We'll
fun.
do all kinds of
What other one you got here? You got another one here on the show?
Another one is one of my favorites.
You can show all of them. I don't care. Which one's this?
My son likes 57 Chevys.
Okay.
That's my son.
That's your son? I've seen him around
that's
before.
Damon. And this was for Rockin Rick's cruising first place. And this was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, this one.
Yep.
Rockin' Race Classic Cruise in first place.
First place.
Yep, it won this award. Rockin' Cruise in first place.
And I like that one. It's green. Green's my color.
That's
Okay,
neat.
here we go.
57 for my son.
57 for your son. It's 1957.
Yes.
$135 to the winner. $135 to the winner. Yeah, we thank everybody for coming out. We thank our sponsors, Burger King, O'Reilly's on the west side, Rockin, Club News Lot, Taco Bell, Ron Dixon, the
That same one or is that a different one?
This is a different one.
Okay, that's not. Okay.
This one is the Antique Car Parade, third place. And that was in 2010.
2010,
This
third
is
place.
the one we beat John Mannery's.
Oh, the one you beat John Mannery's at.
Yes.
Did you meet John Mannery's?
Yeah, you know, he's not that friendly.
He's not that friendly,
No,
really.
he's not that friendly. We were excited because, you know, we were there, you know, talking to him and stuff. And when they called us and didn't call him, I thought,
Oh,
it's a
man.
cute little blue Mustang.
Oh.
I was excited because we beat him out because he's a
Personality,
celebrity.
yeah, celebrity.
Numbers
Celebrity.
5993. 5993.
This one's my favorite.
5993.
That's when I run a food pantry at our church. And we do that on Saturdays, and we serve a little over 1,000 people a month there with food. And we enjoy it. We help a lot of people. It's a good thing.
You guys serve food.
It's bagged groceries. We're called a choice pantry. and the people come in and we sign them up, and they get food according to their family size, and it's set up like a little grocery, and they come in and they get signed in, and then they go down into the actual pantry, and they get a little cart, and they've got a card that tells them how much food they can have off of each one of the food group carts, and they just go through and put their items in the cart, and then they, when they're done, they're all bagged and they're ready to go. And we're involved in the, if you've heard of Feed America program, and that's where Walmart, we get food from Walmart 3 times a week. They donate stuff to our food pantry, and it's normally stuff that would actually be thrown in a dumpster. It's things that are close to out of date or out of date, things that are discontinued, and we have them, and sometimes that's the cream of the crop that we have to give to people. It's really, really good stuff.
Oh.
And we're partially United Way funded, but that's just, that doesn't, it helps, but it doesn't go real far.
Well, you know, a very special time is coming up here, Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yes.
Now, you guys are, I'm guessing, really super busy around that time?
Absolutely.
Now, how much of an increase do you have, like, so, compared to their time of year?
We've seen about a 28% increase so far this year, and we were just made aware of the fact that in November the food stamps are going to be cut again. So they told us to expect another 50% increase in our food pantry clients because of the food stamp program, which is called SNAP. That'll be cut way back in November, and so that's really gonna hurt us right here at Christmas time with kids and things needing food, and then also toys and things for Christmas.
Do you guys work with the Salvation Army and stuff?
No, it's actually called the Lighthouse Food Pantry. It's at 626 Ridgelawn. It's actually in the basement of our church, and it's the Lighthouse. The Lighthouse Church in Hamilton. That's the name of the church. It used to be Lighthouse Fellowship, but it's just the Lighthouse.
So you help people with disabilities, homeless people, or people like low income, like children who are in hunger, whatever.
Absolutely, yes.
Now you used to work at Kmart. You said you worked at Kmart here?
I actually worked in two of the stores in Forest Park.
Oh, Forest Park.
I was electronics manager there. I did most of that for like the last 20 years that I was there, of 30. But I worked in Oxford. Then I worked at Route 4, Hamilton. Actually worked in Louisville, Kentucky for a little while, and that was quite an experience.
Okay, now Route 4. I think I know somebody who said they worked at the Route 4 one. This over here, Rockin, back here behind you.
Yes.
It used to be a Kmart.
Yes, it did.
It was a Kmart.
Yes, and I knew a lot of the people that worked there. As a matter of fact, a lot of times when people, if they were low on some of their freight, in the electronics department, I would bring it over. If they had a customer had a rain check or something, I would go over in my stock room and get things that they might need that I had and bring it over here to them. So Kmart is kind of a partnership store to store. When there was a lot of Kmarts around, they would help each other out. It was kind of like a family thing. If you worked for Kmart.
This is a really neat little car here, a 68 Chevelle sport car. Super Sport, right? Chevelle Super Sport, right here. And it's a yellow car. I don't want to be respectful. Okay, when I first saw you, I thought you worked here. Tell me a little bit about yourself.
My name's Mike Romer. I just came here for a cruise in.
Well, you got a shirt on this Rockin' Cruise show, and so I thought you had worked here originally. I mean, what do you love?
That's part of the cruise in. That's why we call it Rockin' Cruising.
Yeah. Well, what do you love about cars? I mean, I see you coming here to this car show. You must love cars. I mean, when did you start loving cars? Tell some stories.
Just have something to do. Okay. Rearrange cars around the way we like seeing them and have cars the way we want them.
How many car shows have you like been to? Like cruises? I'm talking about just Rockin' Rex or anywhere in general. How many car shows you went to?
There's more of them, but this is mainly the main one I go to.
Main one you go to?
Yeah.
And what are some of your favorite cars?
My favorite cars? Probably in Fords or Chryslers, or some of them is foreign. Sometimes Dodges.
Ford's cars. And so, have you ever collected any cars personally, or have you ever?
Yeah, I had some.
Okay, what kind of cars did you have?
I have like Corvettes, different stuff like that, and I didn't have some of them long because somebody else wanted them and they disappeared.
Oh, someone else wanted them, disappeared?
Yeah.
So you ever traded cars or anything like that?
I never traded it.
Never traded
I
cars?
just usually keep them.
And was your family like really into cars at all?
Yeah, I got two brothers that was really into it, and they like cars 100%.
Do they go to like a lot of NASCAR shows or anything like that?
No, mainly they
Like, you know, race cars?
One of them likes racing, and the other one just likes different kinds of cars. Puts them together the way he wants them and everything. Restores them and everything.
Okay, now you said the one likes racing.
Yeah.
Has he ever like raced a car, or
Yeah, he likes racing cars.
Oh, he likes racing cars. Okay, no, he likes racing himself, or just watch people do it, or both.
He likes racing himself.
Okay, was he been like any like Daytona or anything like that, or has he been like any kind of
He did
events?
something somewhere, then he just made that last run, and that was it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
About 68 right now.
I'll say, was he ever into drag racing on a regular street?
It was a track. Not too long ago, he raced at one and came in like a tie, and he don't know who won.
Oh, you don't know who won? Cool.
Yeah.
Oh man.
It was a professional racing.
Very close.
Car, yeah.
Very close. Now, your other brother, what kind of cars was he like really into?
He likes 50 Mercuries and all kinds of the old T-Birds.
The old T-Birds?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, what about the like the rest of your family and stuff like
His
that?
name was Ron Romer, and the other one is Kenny Romer.
Okay.
Racer Kenny Romer.
What about the rest of your family? Like kids, grandkids, any of them like cars?
They're not into it like they are.
Okay.
They're just into it mainly like transportation.
Any cars here that like really catch your eyes that you've been here today?
Yeah, I've seen some of them, like back in the 50s. They look good, and the T-Birds and 50s and the 60s and that.
Any cars you see like any cars like recent years that you really like, or you see that you really like?
What do you mean?
Like 2011s, 2010s, 2013s, like any like cars from the 2000s or anything like that.
The 2000 ones?
Yeah, any cars that you really like?
They're all different now, the way they're changed around, and I like the style on them, but I don't like the material.
Oh, okay.
Because I know when they put them together like a $17,000 car, the cost of it and everything, and the labor to put it into it, it really ends up looks like about $3,000, and somebody's making $14,000 on it.
Oh.
They make it as cheap as possible, somebody gets rich.
Oh, yeah. What are some of your favorite car dealers to go to? Where do you buy your cars from, like dealership wise?
With the new ones, Hyundai. I got a Hyundai at the house. And I got this truck.
Oh, this truck right here?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about your truck here. We'll talk about your truck there a little bit. What year is it?
It's an 84,
84?
but somebody took it. Some guy's going to retire, and he made it for a 90, and they made a cab for it back in 83.
Okay.
And they just finished that cab. They made the dies, and then they retired, and they thought. Then another guy came in and made a one for the 90, and the first guy thought that was his 90.
Okay.
But that's really a rare cab. I built the sides out of it, make it look more like an 84, but it's really made for a 90.
Well, it's made for
and then they made it in 83, and they put it together for an 84, and none of it would fit on it because it leaks and everything, because the parts are different, and they thought it was a reject. But Fords don't make rejects. They just got it mixed up, and it's lost in the factory.
Right.
So that's why I call it the lost cab.
Oh, that's why you call it the last cab.
They didn't stamp the rest of it out. It's just a cab.
Okay. Are you from Ohio at all?
Do what?
You from Ohio?
I'm from Ohio.
What was he, Hamilton?
Originally from Mount Healthy, and when I was 8, I moved out in Raleigh Township, Butler County.
Okay, well, you know, my uncle, I think it was a place that he worked at. I think it was an auto place. Man, you know what I'm talking about? I'm too young for this, but my uncle talked to me about this. He was laid off from a place called Fisher Body.
Fisher Body, yeah.
Was that like a car place, Fisher Body?
Yeah, that's a car place. They make GM motors.
Well, yeah, I think that place closed down, I think he said, or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong, Fisher Body. But he's like, he was laid off from there, like, I guess, long ago. But he was talking about that was like a place he worked at, and it was like this.
I think it's in Hamilton near Fairfield.
Okay.
And that's where they made Chevrolets and stuff.
They made Chevrolets?
Yeah.
Oh, they didn't repair cars, actually. Well, I guess they
It's made for a 90, and they stamped it out in '83, and the guy retired, and they got it lost, and that's just
okay.
It's a make for a 90.
Made for a 90. Okay, that's cool. And but Parents Car, so it's last you pretty good time. How many miles you got on it?
I bought it when it had 54,000 miles on it. Bought it because of the engine, because it had low miles on it. Now it's got about 60. I bought it in '98 for $500, and I stuck 9,000 in it.
Oh, okay, so 9,000 in it. How long can this thing last? What's the lifespan on it? They said.
Do what?
What's like an average lifespan on this kind of thing?
Well, it can last anywhere from 1 day to 100 years, whatever they put into it.
Yeah.
How they take care of it. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see your hoodie. We'll see your hood. Okay, we'll go ahead and get this up here a little bit. What kind of engine you got on it?
It's a 302.
302?
Yeah.
And how good are those? How effective are those?
They're good. This is geared down, where it's got the real low power gear, and just a 302 engine. It's all original.
What are some of the best engines, car engines wise, so far you think? I mean, I don't know how much you study cars, but like so far, like what's the best kind of engines for a car you think to have? I mean, what's the best? I mean, you've heard
anything that could pull it, and with the weight of the people inside it.
Okay. All right. Well, you got a nice little car there, sir, or a little truck. Thank you.
Thank you. What's your name?
Jake.
Jake. Thanks, Jake.